Hello, Lisbon. 2 seconds. That's how long the first movie was. It's hard to believe it now, but it literally took a couple seconds and then a century of continuous innovation to kickstart a new form of art that would change our lives forever. This was in 1888. Just a few years later, this 50-second long silent film overwhelmed the first moviegoers. Images of this train caused a scene of total panic, and people fled the theater where the movie was premiering. Could they imagine that their great-great-grandchildren, us, would spend their evenings binge-watching Netflix? Or that Nolan's Interstellar would make us feel we've seen the space? I don't think so. Today, we are witnessing the birth of another form of art, virtual reality. We might not realize it yet, but VR entertainment now is at the stage of that 50-second long silent movie. We still need to find the narrative, and the tech still needs to catch up. But we are getting there. So for the next 20 minutes, I'd like you to join me in imagining the worlds that we can create in VR. Should we turn off the gravity, or even make it an underwater world? Should it be inhabited by intelligent aliens? Should I look like one of them? Now that we have this setting, what can we do with it? Would you like to experience it alone or together with someone else? Friends or strangers? Do we need music? Other sounds? What should I do in this underwater world that I can't do here in Lisbon? I don't have the answers yet, but I know where to look for them. If the history of film has taught us anything, the lesson is only great narratives combined with breathtaking visuals and compelling sound can open up the potential of the new technology. To find them, we need to bring on board great artists, directors, musicians, producers, and storytellers. Work together, create together. Our job as tech companies is to offer them the canvas and help them realize their wildest dreams. And this has been the vision of Sensorium from day one, empowering the most creative people on the planet. For the last 2 years, this vision was the foundation of our collaborations with some of the brightest minds of our times. From renowned show producers who worked on the biggest entertainment and commercial productions of the last decade, to creators behind the Cirque du Soleil, to Jay-Z's Rogue Nation, to a number of chart-topping artists. Today, we've announced a next-level partnership with a living legend, a visionary, someone who's dreamed of the future not once, but many times, a pioneer whose concert broke multiple Guinness records in attendance, someone who can gather 75 million people to watch his first VR performance on the New Year's Eve, someone who even has an asteroid named after him.
Sasha, are you talking to me about me behind my back? Well, we must confess then. I guess the cat is out of the box now, and I would like to tell you how excited I am super excited to get this partnership with Sensorium Galaxy and to explore all together the endless possibilities of sound and music in VR. And just like Sasha said, virtual reality is a blank canvas, and now and therefore it's a blessing for us artists.
Shall we take a seat? Well, it's been hard to keep it under wraps, and I'm so happy that we can finally put it out there. You know, Jean-Michel, from the moment we met, I was amazed by your vision of virtual and augmented reality and how you clearly see our future enhanced by this technology. What makes you such a big believer in VR?
You know, Sasha, I'm really convinced that VR is the beginning of a new era. Old rules no longer apply because now imagination is the only limit. There are no physical constraints, even no more gravity, and no rules set in stone. As an artist, it's incredible that I can use this medium to create fabulous environments and to also be coming straight from my imagination. My imagination is the limit. And every single detail of the performance, like sound design, lighting, the overall feel, and even how I look can be changed and reinvented. And instead of thinking of a way to design the stage, I can dream up new worlds that perfectly reflect my vision. And this is so exciting. Of course, we don't have all the tools yet, but I'm sure that we are on the way. And with Sensorium Galaxy, I can tell you that we are preparing lots of very exciting items. And soon enough, we will be able to build multi-dimensional environments that reflect our vision and with full creative control. And do it from the comfort of our homes, just like we produce music today. And another important feature that VR offers me as an artist is the ability to interact with my fans on a new level. Instead of doing an Instagram stream, for instance, sitting in front of my smartphone, I would be in the same virtual room with them, sharing experiences. We would be able to have meaningful interactions, not one-way communication where I talk and others can only react with emojis or short comments.
And I'm pretty sure the demand will be quite high, taking into consideration your creativity and fluency in high-tech storytelling.
Yeah, this is actually one more thing I wanted to touch upon. VR also needs new narratives, and we are the ones who can develop them. You see, the major difference we have at the moment between VR and other art forms like a movie or a book or a song is that those are all linear events. They have a linear narrative. Imagine I invited you, Sasha, to watch a movie with me later today. We choose the title, we sit down and enjoy the movie, but at the end of the day, we both saw the same thing, the same plot. And it doesn't matter if we watch it once or 1,000 times. The story of the movie won't ever change. The narrative is set, and it was chosen by someone else, right? By writers or directors, etc. Now, the big difference is VR is non-linear. We can have thousands of narratives within the same event that unfold depending on the choices we make. Anyone joining the experience becomes a part of the creative process, following his own story, his own journey. And as artists, we can come up with as many narrative alternatives as we want, to the point where the experience of each user becomes truly unique. And even if you watch a show multiple times, each viewing will be totally different. I'm not just talking about experiencing a concert from a different angle every time you see it. What I mean is influencing it, transforming the decor and having new creative encounters. As a result, the new narratives will emerge as a product of the artist-fan interaction. And I feel like we are the pathfinders of so we are slowly actually building many of those tools.
Exactly. And you can't imagine how much I want to see what we come up with. Overall, I keep thinking of all the new things that will be available for fans thanks to virtual reality. They would experience your performances from so many different angles or even see it through your eyes, watching the crowd going ecstatic. Then the fans will also be able to influence the shows. Depending on how they express their emotions, you would get immediate feedback. there will be the same connection that makes live shows stand out.
But all this is impossible, of course, without a carefully designed environment. And immersion is the key. But you see, when we think about it, we are mainly referring to the visual environment. But the sound is not less important. It's not because I'm a musician I'm saying this. But you know, Alfred Hitchcock or Quentin Tarantino would say that sound is 50% of a movie. I would say that in VR, it's even more. And sound plays a major role in the sense of immersion. And for VR, with Sensorium Galaxy, it doesn't make sense to speak just about stereo or mono anymore. Ambisonic, binaural, surround sounds, and multi-channel sounds. These are the sounds of the future and the sounds of VR. You know, it's like creating sounds for electric cars. It's naturally totally quiet. So to make it safe for pedestrians, for us, manufacturers deliberately equip them with sounds. And they can technically choose any sound with for this purpose. Same with VR. You can create any kind of noise, music, etc., for your own virtual environments. And soon, I really hope musicians will take advantage of this new medium and new techniques that come with it. Newcomers and emerging artists should be thinking of creating with these binaural multi-channel sounds, and with this approach, I believe that very soon, stereo will be, you know, like mono was for grandparents, a sort of a gramophone of the 21st century.
You were talking about autonomous cars, and I thought of autonomous virtual artists. When I'm talking about AI-generated music, I imagine it like a big cookup. You feed the AI base millions of samples from countless artists, from drum beats, synth pads, bass lines. Then AI combines them to create infinite streams of music that never repeat or end. What's really mind-blowing is that we can now put this technology into virtual bodies, creating individual looks that reflect their music and personalities. These virtual artists share their music with you, and they also can talk to you in VR and hang out with you just like real people do. And by talking, I mean literally discussing any topic, from best cities in the world to visit to the topics of free will or even the meaning of life. And even today, when creators more than ever are appealing to their fans directly through social media or live streams, it's a new phenomenon. Someone whose music you enjoy is now always within reach to interact with you. And this is another, less obvious opportunity that VR has to offer. And there must be many more.
You know, Sasha, I think I would like to share this at the Web Summit, but AI is going to be the biggest revolution for our society. I mean, everybody's talking about it here, and for artists like us, it's even more true. And having a digital version of myself, for instance, or another AI-driven DJ performing next to me in VR is magical as the technology gets. AI is a great tool to augment creative possibilities. We should embrace it and not having this dystopian vision of the future where virtual DJs and AI would bring real musicians to an end. It's simple, just like AI-driven artists will not replace real-life performers, VR is not a replacement for our real-life experiences. And VR won't kill concerts or music festivals. Of course, it will reinforce them like cinema did for theater or TV for cinema. You know, in the beginnings of cinema, people didn't think that actors on the screen were real actors. Because for them, real actors were those performing in real time on a stage and in front of real audience. People also were afraid that cinema would make theaters obsolete. Of course, cinema became the major art form we know. And cinema, television, theater, streaming platform are coexisting rather peacefully.
Exactly.
And you know, today in 2021 and soon 2022, VR is in the same position. It has to be seen as a new medium, generating new creators, new techniques, and new ecosystems for future creativity.
Actually, as fans, how many of us wished could go to more events of our favorite artists? I'm sure many of us. But it's either too expensive, impossible to get tickets, or not convenient to keep flying all over the world. And let's face it, we don't have unlimited amount of time either.
Yeah.
In the end, you always have to sacrifice something, but not in VR. With VR, we will be able to have more of what we like. The events, the interactions, the feelings you get from events, and so on.
You know, I think it will be funny for future generations to think about this conversation. Probably they will be amused at how backwards we seem now. But you're right. VR does seem to play the role of an equalizer. I truly believe that art should be for everyone. Everybody thinks the same. But you know, today, too many people are still kept out of many experiences. Think about it. The real world has so many barriers. Concerts, for instance, have stages. Museums have rooms and stairs. And if you want to go to a certain event, you have to drive your car or to take the metro to get there. VR is a major leap forward for accessibility. And imagine someone who is isolated geographically, socially, or due to a handicap, being able to be a part of the same event at the same time. This is a democratization of events and experiences. It's quite the game changer.
I agree. And also, on the other hand, anyone in the virtual world can be whoever they want. You can pick an avatar or a virtual alter ego and live out the life you always dreamed of. Young and handsome, mature and wise, alien-like, whatever reflects your inner world or mood. And it's not about hiding behind the virtual facade, but actually becoming the person you always wanted to be. And this way, social labels don't apply. We can connect with others based on who we truly are and not be judged by what we're wearing, how we look, or social status, or how much money we appear to have. Some will say that technology is still out of reach for many people, and that's true. High-end equipment is still expensive. But technology like 5G and edge computing is progressing fast, and we believe that soon entering a VR experience will be more affordable.
You know, here is the last thought I want to share with you all, and maybe it's the most important one. I believe that once VR becomes widely available, we will start connecting the dots and realizing, okay, VR was the missing link to bigger things, like metaverses. I know everybody talks about this world, and it's becoming a kind of buzzword. But very few realize what the key component is. The realization starts with understanding what's wrong with social media today. Right now, people are slowly realizing that for Facebook, Instagram, for instance, and other platforms, we are just products or spectators, not actors and creators. That's why so many young people are abandoning these social networks, and very soon they should be a thing of the past, obsolete. Who is talking about MySpace today, for instance? Mm-hmm. On the contrary, virtual reality and metaverses will offer the feeling of presence and the nudge to act and co-create, not just scroll through other people's polished experiences. People want to be at the center of their own narratives, not just the silent spectators. Make and share the memories with people from across the world and all social backgrounds. This is how next generation social platforms will work, and VR is essential for building them.
You actually just said a very important word here, sharing. The idea behind the metaverse that makes it so attractive is that it brings people together around the things they enjoy the most and lets them share these experiences. Today, entertainment in some ways become an isolated experience. We stand in front of a screen and passively consume content. Does anyone remember gathering a large group of friends to watch movies together? That was probably a long time ago, or maybe never, which is sad, because emotions are magnified when shared. Experiences are more memorable when shared. Isn't that why we love music festivals so much, for example? Of course, they are about the music and the shows, but also about living these moments with the people we love.
You know, and that's bringing us back to the concept of tech companies and artists working together, hand in hand, to create these kind of experiences in VR, to develop the narratives, to create breathtaking environments, to breathe life into them with the power of sound, to let people be free and creative there, and to share whatever happens on these platforms with their loved ones. And this is the reason why I'm so happy to be to join forces with Sensorium Galaxy. And next time, I think that my avatar will be there to talk to Sasha.
And my avatar too, maybe. And let them talk with each other next time, yeah? Thank you, Jean-Michel, and hope you join us in Sensorium Galaxy to discover the new edge of VR.